living.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Nunemaker versus Nunemaker, step forward, please.
Salesman Bruce Nunemaker is suing his son, truck driver Shad Nunemaker, for unpaid credit card charges. Shad claims he's never stopped making payments.
Mr. Nunemaker, this is your son.
Yes.
According to what I read in your complaint, 2 years ago, your son ran into some difficulty with a truck that he owned for business. And the truck broke down, requiring a substantial amount of repairs. You loaned him money to make... Stop playing with your papers. You loaned him the money to make the repairs on your truck through your credit card. There was an agreement that he would pay you back, and he had been making the payments faithfully on your credit card from 2002 until March of 2004. So far, am I correct?
Yes.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he stopped making the payments. You want at least part of the balance of what is owed because the maximum in this court is $5,000. The defendant says that you breached the agreement with you with regard to repayment of this loan, so the loan was null and void. And he'll explain that to me in a moment. When, in 2002, was this loan made?
May 2nd of 2002.
And under what circumstances was it made?
Shad was on a trip. He drives over the road, and during the trip, he was outside of Colorado, about 150 miles outside of Denver, rather, in Grand Junction, Colorado. And he called me and said that his truck, the engine had blown.
What kind of truck did you have, sir?
It's a Freightliner. I have a photo here.
I'd like to see it.
That's the exterior and then, yeah,
okay.
Interior.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He told me on the phone that he was unable to arrange his own financing for the $12,000 engine in his truck, and without that, he was out of work.
Now, tell me, sir, why did you stop making payments? You were making the payments to your father.
Ma'am, I never stopped making payments. As a matter of fact, I have a copy of all of my checks, and I also have a copy of check number 619 for $247.54, which I just called yesterday, and my bank says it has not cleared, which tells me that for some reason or another, Bruce does not want to cash the check.
Did you receive a check that you did not cash, sir?
I cashed it a couple days ago, yes.
So you did cash it?
I did.
Just a few days ago. So what are you doing here?
That was a check for March. At the time of our separation, he was living with me in my home.
I understand that.
And it came to a point where we came to some conflict.
I understand that, and he moved out, and he moved out, you told him to move out, and he was angry, but you've just cashed the check, sir, that he paid for, and he said he's paid for the truck and he intends to continue to honor the agreement. So what are you doing here?
That's not true.
What's not true?
The truth of the matter is that he sent me a check after we separated on March 19th. Sent me a check for partial payment on the March payment. At the day that we separated, when the papers were served by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, he verbalized that, and prior to that too, that I would never see the rest of that money.
Well, he was speaking out at the top of it, or, you know, he was speaking out of anger because he acknowledges that this is his debt, and he's acknowledged that in open court. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. You understand, Mr. Nunemaker, that if you fail, now that we have an acknowledged debt, it doesn't have to be in writing anymore. It's an acknowledged debt under oath.
With no stipulations?
So, listen to me. It's an acknowledged debt under oath. You understand that if you fail to pay this debt, your father has a lien on your truck. Do you understand that? I want you to understand that.
No, I don't know that.
Well, then I am telling you that. Your father has a lien on your truck should you fail to pay it. It's exactly the same thing as if you had a written contract with him, a written loan agreement with him. Do I make myself clear?
Thus far, yes.
Good. I suggest, sir, that you make those payments on time every month.
Ma'am?
Yes.
May I add something? It's very important. Before I moved out, I told him that if he breached our agreement, he would not see it. And he said, that's fine. I'll take the loss to get you out of my life.
What are you talking about breach? Tell me.
The agreement was that I would continue to make payments and still live in his house and do my studies.
Well, that's what you wrote in your answer that I didn't believe when I read it in your answer. Are you telling me, sir, that when you called your father from the road in May of 2002 and said, Dad, I blew the engine on my truck and I don't have the finances to fix it. Can you lend me the money? And your father said yes. And what you want me to believe is, and you said to your father, and I will pay you back, as long as you are nice to me, watch your temper, let me live in your house and continue my studies. And your father said, yes, under those conditions, I will... I'm speaking! Under those conditions, I will give you the $12,000. Is that what you want me to believe? Get a life.
We did not make an agreement, ma'am.
Listen to me, sir.
We did not discuss an agreement.
Listen to me, sir. I've just advised your son, under oath, your son has acknowledged this loan to you. There were no conditions on the loan. I find that there were no conditions on the loan. I will enter an order that should he miss 2 payments, you have leave to enter a judgment against him in the amount of the balance owed on the truck, and you may enter a lien against that truck in order to execute on it. You can sell it. Do you understand?
I do. What about the 2 months?
Goodbye.
Now this is case number 31 on the calendar in the matter of Reagan versus Oakley.
السلام علیکم دوستو نه پښتو ته راوړم نو اختر موږ خو زبردست خسور کې وشولو نو قدیمه تراوی منځونه څنګه دا د مو ملګری پکې لاندې ښکته شو کوشو رکوع ته لاړو هغه تکبیر وخت کې زبردست یار ویری ګډ نو ډېر په مشکل ما خندا کنټرول کړی و نو تاسو پکې کوم هغه کې تراو کې ورای کې ویرانه کړی یار صاحب रास्ता बना सो एक बार की शाहीन पीछे बैठे रुकू के इंतजार में वो बदकिस्मती सर हमारे वहाँ तरवाम पकी ना दिखड़ी बाकी सारा द फैमिली बहु शिया का तक बुम लाड़े अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों न पख्तो तरवाड़ूंगा नो अख्तर मुंद वो ज़बरदस्त खसूर की वोश वालो नो कदीमा तरावे मंजुना तरंग दादा मु मलगरे पकीलान देख का तशुकुशो रुकू ते लाड़ो आगा तकबीर वक्त के ज़बरदस्त यार वेरी गुड نو ډېر په مشکل ما خندا کنټرول کړی و نو تاسو پکې کوم هغه کې تراو کې ورای کې ویرانه کړی یار صاحب रास्ता बना सो एक बार की शाहीन पीछे बैठे रुकू के इंतजार में वो बदकिस्मती सर हमारे वहाँ तरवाम पकी ना दिखड़ी बाकी सारा द फैमिली बहु शिया का तक बुम लाड़े अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों न पख्तो तरवाड़ूंगा नो अख्तर मुंद वो ज़बरदस्त खसूर की वोश वालो نو قدیمه تراوی منځونه څنګه دا د مو ملګری پکې لاندې ښکته شو کوشو رکوع ته لاړو هغه تکبیر وخت کې زبردست یار ویری ګډ نو ډېر په مشکل ما خندا کنټرول کړی و نو تاسو پکې کوم هغه کې تراو کې ورای کې ویرانه کړی یار صاحب रास्ता बना सो एक बार की शाहीन पीछे बैठे रुकू के इंतजार में वो बदकिस्मती सर हमारे वहाँ तरवाम पकी ना दिखड़ी बाकी सारा द फैमिली बहु शिया का तक बुम लाड़े